Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad that you're here today. Today is going to be my first story time video for this channel. If you're new to YouTube and you don't know what a story time is, basically the YouTuber sits down and tells you a story. Today's story time is about a little featured guest on my vlogs. If you watch my vlogs, you've seen her several times. You probably hear her right now, and I haven't really introduced her. Today's vlog is all about Shotsy and her adoption. Now, I had Shotsy on the bed with me, but she kind of has a mind of her own and she's pretty sassy, so she wasn't about that. She's jumped down, is under the bed now. Who knows why? But I thought I would still share her story. Throughout this video, I'm going to put pictures and videos of things that Shotsy does. I've taken billions of pictures of her. She loves to dress up, so there's lots of pictures of that. Videos of her and the tricks that she does, or just the cute little things that she does, are going to be playing as I'm speaking. So, on to the story. About 3 years ago, I was in Kingsville with my best friend Katie. It was the end of May, and she has a dog named Sophie. Now, Shotsy and Sophie have yet to meet, but I know that the day that they do meet, it's gonna be awesome because they're both like the coolest dogs ever. So, I was in Kingsville, and Katie needed some more dog food for Sophie, and there's only one pet store in Kingsville. So we drive up, and of course, on the day that we get there, there's a huge banner that says Adoption Day. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, here we go. This is not a good idea. Mallory, don't even go in there. You know you're gonna fall in love with a dog. Your parents are not gonna want you to have a dog. Don't even go in. So I went in, of course, and instead of going with Katie to look at the dog food, I beelined for the small dogs. I have two big dogs at home, and I was ready for a small dog. So there was a circular fence that held all the smaller dogs. There was lots of dogs like bouncing around and jumping and so cute, wanted to lick you. And then just like a movie, towards the back was a little dog that was really timid, kind of shy, shaking a little bit. And so I turned to the lady that was standing there and I said, "What's her story?" And she said, "Oh, it's kind of tragic. She is my foster dog. I've been watching her and her brother," and she pointed out the other one. And I'll put a picture of them when they were younger here. Anyway, so she let me know that Shotsy and her brother Fred at the time, and Shotsy's real name before I got her was Frida. So Frida and Fred had been living with a family or a man, and one day while the owner of the ARC or Animal Rescue Clayburg shelter was outside, she was bathing a couple of the dogs, and all of a sudden a truck rolled by and threw two puppies out the window. And they were pretty little at the time because I got Shotsy when she was 8 months old, and the lady had had them for a couple months. So they were probably 4 months, maybe 3 months old. He threw them out of the truck and they hit the pavement. That breaks my heart, the fact that somebody could do that to a dog. There's much easier ways to surrender a dog if you're not wanting the dog, but throwing them out of a truck is not acceptable to me. So of course they took in the two dogs, and they found them a foster who raised them so well. Shotsy was really well behaved when I got her and pretty much potty trained, so that was amazing. And that's where they were that day. They were at the adoption day. So I'm like sitting there like about to cry, like, oh my gosh, you know, why would somebody do that to a dog? And she says, "Would you like to take her outside to go potty?" And I'm thinking, lady, you are telling the wrong person that, because you've just told me this sad sob story. I'm gonna run. I'm taking this dog and going. Fine, I don't know who you're taking home, but you're not taking this one home. So of course I pick her up and she just melts into my arms, and I think that's honestly when I knew, like, okay, this dog is mine. No matter what, I'm taking this dog home. Took her outside to go potty, called my mom, told my mom the story. I'm like putting on the biggest show. "Mom, how would you feel if you were going to a new school?" Because I was going to Texas State for the first time, living in my apartment for the first time. "How would you feel if you were going to a new school and you didn't know anybody and you needed somebody there to comfort you?" I was putting on the works. So she finally gives up and says, "Okay, but you have to talk to your dad." Call my dad. He's on the golf course. I'm whispering. He's whispering. I'm like, "Dad, are you winning?" And he tells me yes. So I tell him, "Okay, just call me when you're done on the golf course." And then 3 agonizing hours later, he calls me and we have the same conversation that my mom and I had. And he gives in and says yes, but on one condition. Shotsy is a Schnauzer mix. He knew she was a Schnauzer mix. He knows that Schnauzers are German. We're German. So his one condition to me was I had to name her something of her heritage. Okay, that should be easy. I thought there has to be lots of cute names that are of German descent. He wanted me to name her things like Oren, I don't remember them all, but they were all really kind of crazy names. And I was like, no, Dad, it has to be cute. It has to be cute. So after finally searching, and I came up with Shotsy a little while later. But back to the story. So I call the woman from ARC and I say, I want this dog, please. When can I pick her up? I'm leaving tomorrow. And she goes, oh, well, that's wonderful, but she's not due to be spayed until the end of July. And I was like, okay. That's a long time to wait. Mind you, it's the end of May. So she tells me, I think she could kind of see that, or kind of hear that I was kind of down about that. And she said, I'll see if I can get her spay date moved up. So about a month later, on July 3rd, I was finally able to go pick up Shotsy. We drove all the way to Kingsville again, picked her up, signed the papers, and she was mine. Brought her home. Everybody loves this dog. Anybody who meets her knows that she's super sweet. She's very, very, very smart. The tricks that she knows, I have to tell you that I can't take the credit for them. She would do something and I would just put a name to it and I would say it over and over, and then she'd get it, that that's what, do a dance means to spin in a circle, or to sit pretty means to sit back on your two legs. She's just incredibly smart. So fast forward 3 years later, Shotsy and I are still best friends. We still love each other. I could not live without this dog. She has all kinds of cool quirks. Like, she sleeps under the covers, not on top of them right next to you, under the covers, smack dab on your leg. Like, she has to be there. She can't sleep. She doesn't like baths. You would think that a dog would like water. She hates water, but that's okay. She's not too fond of the car, but I mean, considering where her story started, you can imagine why. She shakes, so she wears a thunder shirt, and her thunder shirt has done amazing things for her. If you don't know what a thunder shirt is, it's actually just it's like a piece of cloth that wraps around them and it has Velcro, so it works like a shirt for them, but it just holds them in all the places, so it feels like they're being held by their owner. Normally, when I would put her in the car, she would shake and shiver, and it was awful to like turn over and look at her. But I hate having her in front of me because she like leans on the wheel or she lays down. Every time I move my arm, she like wakes up. It's just a mess. She used to jump behind me, and so she was behind my back, and so I'm like sitting like this trying to drive as the dog's right here. It was just really uncomfortable for both of us. Finally, my mom was kind enough to get us a thunder shirt, and it's done wonders for us. Now she still shakes a little bit, but she'll stand up and look out the window. You can tell she feels so much more comfortable. Another kind of sad thing about Shotsy is, because she was abused, not only was she thrown out of the car, but she has a sunken eye. When I went to the vet to talk to him about it, because I thought it was an eye infection and that's what everybody else thought, he told me that no, actually she had a sunken eye. And I asked him, oh, was it something she was born with? And he let me know that no, it was probably a form of abuse. So I feel really bad when people meet Shotsy because her eye is sunken back, which causes her eye to be a little more gunky than normal. And so if I haven't just cleaned it, and she hates when I clean it, so I feel bad like messing with her eye all the time. Anyway, if you meet Shotsy and she's got a little gunk in her eye, it's because she was abused and her eye was knocked back into the socket. So that's kind of a really sad thing about Shotsy, but it doesn't hold her back. But it doesn't hold her back at all. She can still see out of that eye. The doctor thinks that she can only see shadows, but she still has one really good eye, so she's doing great. She doesn't let it stop her. She has a mind of her own. One thing about Shotsy that I'm sure you know, if you know Shotsy, she loves a ball or anything that you will throw and that she will bring back. She chases tennis balls, she chases water bottles, she chases her baby, which used to be this little zebra, this pink zebra. Is the first toy that I ever got her. She used to sleep with it. Before she discovered her obsession with playing fetch, she would sleep with it in her little arms like this, and she couldn't sleep without it. And if you went to go touch it, she had to go and move it. She would give it baths, like that was her baby. Now she uses it as a fetch toy. It's kind of sad. She even chased the top of an Easter egg, like one of the halves of an Easter egg, because it looked like a ball to her. So the dog is obsessed with fetching, and I think it's one of the only things that drives me absolutely nuts about that dog. And some days I just want to tell her, enough, I don't want to throw it anymore. But she loves it so much, and I wouldn't trade her for the world. So thank you so much for watching and listening to Shotzi's story today. I'm sure she would love to meet every single one of you. She's very social. Remember that I put out videos every Monday and Thursday, and we'll see you on the next one.